Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz and the Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guy, The Truth, and we got a special guest, Skipper, with me. How are we doing, people?
Not too bad, man.
I'm all right. Hello.
Glad to have you on, Skipper. Glad to have you on. As you know, before we start, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Get the likes up, get the comments up. You know we like to be interactive with you. Football talk, Prem preview show, but it is a special one. We have got Arsenal versus Manchester United. You see this pagan, The Truth, with his Arsenal scarf. Hopefully, Mr. KA should be joining us as well. Yes, Arsenal versus United. Arsenal unbeaten in the league for five. Is it 5 games? Yeah, 5 games unbeaten in the league.
Six.
Oh, 6.
Yeah.
6 in the league. I'm mistaken. 6 in the league. Oh yeah, it's 6. 6, 1-5, drawn 1. Last loss was at City. Unbeaten in the league this year, if you want to count that as well. And ninth in the league, 10 points behind United. United, obviously the first loss to Sheffield United, which was a travesty. Before that, their last loss was to Arsenal, the home game in November. Truth, I'm going to come to you first. Good result for you lot against Southampton. A little bit of revenge for the FA Cup loss. How did you see the game? What did you think of it and the way that you lot played?
In Arteta, we trust. I had a feeling that we were going to win the game. The way Southampton play, it's hard for them to go back to back. You know, they play high pressing football. They spend a lot of energy, and with our stronger squad, I knew we were going to outlast them. If you saw in the second half, we were, hugely comfortable. First half, they're giving us loads of trouble, but then second half, with their high press, they were just starting to fade. Danny Ings was fading. A lot of these players were fading because, it's hard to play Saturday and then Tuesday playing that high intensity football, especially with their first team. So, yeah, it was a expected result. I would have loved to go through in the FA Cup, but I'm not too bothered by it because, we have won 4 out of the last 7 FA Cups. So it's not too much for us. It's not like I'm desperate to win it. I love the FA Cup and I prefer to be in it, but being out of it, I'm not too upset because that means a lot less extra games. We could focus on the Premier League and the FA Cup because when it comes down to March, April, and you're still in the FA Cup, you start to miss a few Premier League fixtures. It all gets convoluted towards the end. So, yeah, it was a good win for us.
It was a good result. You lot played well. I mean, Saka is on fire at the moment, playing very, very well. Young talent.
Had him in my fantasy team.
I think everyone's got him in their fantasy team. Smith Rowe playing well as well, and Lacazette. The whole team's playing well. Looks a lot more structured and organised. I know you've been an advocate for patience with Arteta. Are we seeing the rewards of that, of not jumping the gun and keeping Arteta and allowing him to do what he wants to do?
Of course, I've always said this is going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint for us. We don't have the, capabilities to be like Chelsea when it's not going well. Sack a manager. We're not that kind of club. I know it was going badly, but Arteta had a plan. The board believes in him. There is a structure. He is slowly getting rid of the players from the Wenger and the Emery era, which is a lot of weak-minded players. Once all those players are gone, then you're going to see, you're going to see you're going to see a much more complete team. You cannot do what Arteta's trying to do in a short space of time. It's going to go bad sometime, but you have to stick with it. And I know a few of those Arsenal fans, not mentioning any channels, but you know what I'm talking about. They love to try to get a soundbite by jumping the gun and saying Arteta out. It's like, come on, man. Like, don't be ridiculous. See where we are at the end of the season, then make a comment. But during the season, support your team, man. So
definitely, you gotta give a manager a chance. Managers deserve trust, especially at the big teams. Like only Chelsea can really truly afford to be just chopping and changing managers. I know United done it a little bit, but we still gave our managers a
No, you
prolonged
gave your
period of
managers,
time.
yeah, you
Not
gave your managers
giving
2
a
years
guy
at
half,
least.
giving a guy like a year or like 8-9 months. I don't know. That don't really stand well with me.
Yeah, same. I agree with you.
Especially a legend like Frank Lampard as well. He's someone that you should give more time. Like, you know what I mean? Because he'll get it right somewhere.
Yeah, as I said, 2 years at least just to see where you are. Giving them, a year and a bit, it's not fair. I don't think. Skip is a coach as well, so we both know what, as a manager, how long it takes to implement a system, implement a style of football, a culture. It's not easy. So yeah, no, we both agree on that point.
No, I hear that. No, I hear what you lot are saying. It's 100% true. You need to give people time. Unfortunately, we're in the area in which time is money to a lot of these owners. So if you're not pulling up trees or doing what they expect you to do, within a year, 18 months, you can get sacked. It's unfortunate and it's not fair, but football's become more of a business than anything else. So the managers, they just have to put up with it. Will it change? No, I think it will get worse, but we'll just see what happens and go from there. But Arsenal have decided to stick with Arteta and give him a chance, and we might be seeing the start of a good thing. Skipper, obviously can't see you, but you are, like myself, a Manchester United fan.
Yes, most definitely.
The loss to Sheffield United last night, the 2-1 loss. How did you see it? How did you see the game?
To me, I watched that game not like how I've been watching usual matches. Like usual matches will start slow, but after the slow start, say we've conceded a goal, you'll see a reaction. I don't think we saw the reaction after their goal until after half time. We conceded quite early. I expected a goal within the first half. Like with me, I feel like the passing wasn't very good. Like from when the passing didn't start well, it just went from bad to worse. So really and truly, I feel that as a United fan, as the kind of United fan I am, I'm just trying to erase that game erase it to the back of my head and just think about the Arsenal game where I expect a good performance. One, because we just lost to Sheffield United, and two, because it's Arsenal. Like I don't know, but when Fergie was manager, he he would always. I know how he would behave, and I know how he reacted because we would hardly lose back-to-back games, and after like a big loss or a loss we shouldn't have lost, you would usually see a good performance. So because Ollie's under that kind of cloth, like a Man United man, got the DNA through him, I expect a big performance against Arsenal. When I mean a big performance, I expect a really big performance. Arsenal are gonna try their best to do whatever they can to win. And I feel like unless Saka and Smith Rowe kind of click, because they've not actually played the Arsenal way, unless that kind of clicks, yeah, we should be able to beat them.
You spoke about obviously Sir Alex, and obviously we know after a loss we used to tend to bounce back and then go on a run. With Ole, we've seen a pattern where he can go on a run of winning 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row, but then he can also go on a bad run of losing 4, 5, 6 games in a row. But you're expecting a reaction against Arsenal. Just to put that Sheffield United game into context, considering how dire the performance was from the team, can you really expect the team to bounce back? Or are we going to see the same pattern unfold where Ole goes on this run of losing games?
Okay, firstly, I like that you just touched on that point again. Ole hasn't gone on a run of losing 6 games in a row at United. He's never done that. Like maybe lost a game, drawn a game, lost another game, but never lost results. 6 consecutively.
Poor results.
Yeah. Say it like that, because losing 6 games, that's just really not on at United or at any other club. So really and truly, it's good that we cleared it up. But really and truly, it was a dire performance. But at the end of the day, we just gave everything against Liverpool with most of them players. And we didn't want to play that game, have we been playing other games, because we've already drawn with Liverpool, had a ball draw. So Ole actually wanted to play the Liverpool game in the FA Cup on his own terms. Yeah, some Man United fans don't believe Ole has a philosophy of football. But if you saw the Liverpool game, You can see the incisive, quick passing. You can see the quick switches, diagonal through balls. These are philosophies and patterns of play.
Are they
that he has
philosophies
been
and
using.
patterns? Are they philosophies and patterns of play, or is it
But I didn't
individuals?
finish. No, it's not individuals. It's not individuals. And if, in future, please, when I'm talking like that, don't cut me, please. You know what I mean? Let me get it all out, because more's coming, and it's always going to be good stuff when I'm talking about United. Yeah. So really and truly, like I was saying, it's not individual play, because you see how we're working the triangles, we're laying it off. There'll be a third man runner. You got to understand, this happens on the left-hand side a lot, because that's where our players are strong attacking. But if we had a good right winger, you would see it happening fluidly on the right side. Ollie's got the team playing, especially when we're attacking, we're playing triangles where you could see the point of the triangle changing, and there'll be a runner running off that person. Like with United, our attacking is good when we can get it clicking, but when it's not clicking, the pass is looking astray. It's not looking good, and we're producing dire performances like we did against that Turkish team and like we did against Sheffield United. But I do say that the Liverpool game needs to be taken into consideration, because we put a lot of effort to get through the FA Cup game, and Liverpool were hungry. They wanted it, but we put in the effort to beat them. And so what if we're a point behind City? Don't worry, you'll see it. We usually do Arsenal.
Let me jump in here. Because I think you actually made some good points. I'm going to ask both of you, actually, because you're both United fans. So in terms of this game, I'm going to just tell you patterns that I see in terms of a rival fan. Because obviously, as a United fan, you may look at it with rose-tinted lens, whether you see it one way or see it the other way. So I think you made a good point. I think United did expend a lot of energy in that Liverpool game. And what I will say is that against a side like Liverpool, who do have a high line, and I've said for the last 2 games that Liverpool were there for the taking, United can or do look good because they've got space to put the ball into. They had a huge amount of space. Liverpool play the high line, they play pressing football, they play attacking football. So United have that space. Where United always come unstuck is in the smaller games or teams willing to do a lower block, because they have to use a bit more thinking, they have to use a bit more brain. And this is where the lack of identity comes from, because you cannot play the way United play against all teams. Okay? Man City's style of football, you can play it against all teams because it's dominating the ball. Okay? United's style of football can't work against everyone. It's not universal because they don't dominate the ball all the time. Yeah, and
you don't have all the right players yet. You don't have all the right players yet.
I think you got the right. I think you got the right players.
You just mentioned Pep Guardiola, Man City. How long has he built that team? How many 50, 60 million pound centre backs has he bought?
Pep Guardiola in his second season was playing. No, in his first season was playing the Pep way, and he kept it.
Listen,
this is
tell me how many 50 million centre right backs and all that has he bought? Yeah, listen. If our defense was a bit more stronger, so say we had someone more consistent, more stronger, more reliable, then we would break these teams down, because we would constantly be recycling the ball and attacking them. Yeah, but it's proven that that's not good enough. It's proven that it's not good enough, because
you've had the wrong manager
at home. No, it's not the wrong manager. This is Sheffield United at home.
They're the bottom team in the league.
Yeah, but how can it be the wrong manager if he got us 3rd last season and he's got us 2nd right now? How can it be the wrong manager? What other manager in the Premier League is better than Ollie? Right now?
I think context needs to be given here in terms of he done a good job to get them into 2nd, but there's no trophy for 2nd.
Okay, but the season's not over. The season's not over. Yeah,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. The season's not over.
But there was a reward last season for 3rd, getting into the Champions League, somewhere Arsenal haven't been for years. Never won as well.
I see your phone in there, but one second. I'm going to let TJ respond to this, because I know he's going to respond to, especially what I just said in terms of performance and in terms of what I said about the style of football. Go, TJ.
Listen, the players are good enough to beat a team like Sheffield United. The manager's not. It's as simple as that. There's no style of play. There's no patterns. It's individual brilliance that's gotten us through games. How do you keep going behind in every single game and coming back? That's down to true grit and desire from the players on the pitch. We can see
from
when
the team.
we can see
From the
on
team. Not one
on
player
the,
can make that
on,
comeback. The
we can
team
see
has to
on
make
the
the comeback.
pitch. We can see on the pitch, right, that when we play teams like Liverpool, City, Chelsea to a certain extent, when they play the high lines, it gives us space because we got players that want to run in behind. And that's when we're at our best in the counter-attack. When we play against low block teams, like Sheffield United last night, that's what happens because the manager doesn't have no tactics to break them down. There's no patterns of play, there's no triangles, there's no pentagons, there's no hexagons, there's no nothing. Absolutely nothing.
If we had played our last team, if we had played the team against Liverpool,
it's relying.
Hey.
Just like you said, don't cut you off. Please don't cut me off. I haven't finished. So we see that it's reliant on Bruno, it's reliant on Pogba, it's reliant on Rashford. These individuals, that's what it's reliant upon when we're in these sticky situations. When it comes to a low block and this manager has to do something, he's tactically inept. He doesn't have a clue, which is why the substitutions of Donny and Luke Shaw only happen in the 82nd minute. Why is it only happening then? Why is it all the substitutions are happening late? Why is it that any time that we're in trouble, we're looking at Ollie and he just have this dumbfounded look on his face? It don't make sense. And you brought up the third place finish last season. Again, as I said, Ollie goes on runs where he goes on wins 6, 7, 8 games in a row. And then we have a run of poor results. Leicester threw it away. Let's put that out there. Leicester threw it away. Yeah, because they should have finished in the top 4. Chelsea also threw it away. Fat Frank, credit to him, he got them in the top 4, but they also threw it away, right? That's how Ollie got to where he got to. But what is it? 4? Is it 4 or 5 semi-finals and no trophy? Mm-hmm. What's this? What's he coming into? His third year? Third year. If he doesn't win anything at the end of this season and we end up outside the top 4, then what can really be said? Nothing can be said. The players aren't good enough to win the league. We understand that completely. We're not there yet. We're not levels. As Skipper said, City spent how much? 50, 60 million on right backs and centre backs. We can compete like that, but obviously City have the money to do that as well. But at the same time, with the players that we've got, yes, that right side isn't good enough, but the players that we've got, we should be doing a lot better against teams like Sheffield United than we are. And we can see that in a COVID league where Liverpool and City aren't performing at their best, because even though City's at top, they're still not performing at their best. They should have run away with it, but we're still in it. And that's down to partly because teams aren't performing and we haven't had any injuries. So players have been able to bail them out.
And Skipper, just a question to you actually. In terms of what TJ said about the performances, the facts support that. When you see that United have played 20 games this season and have been behind in 11 of those games, they have won 21 points from losing positions. How long can United keep going, a goal down, 2 goals down, and keep coming back? Surely that is not sustainable for a 38-game season.
Listen, obviously that's not sustainable. And to me, with the way Ollie and United are moving and trying to move, that's not something that's going to be happening all the time. But what you have to understand, especially when you've been around or been involved in football at like decent standards and decent levels, to go down 1-0 and to come back and win the game more than once, regardless if it's happening, because a goal can go in anyhow, especially if you've got an unconfident defense and you've got not necessarily all the players in all the positions that you want. Listen, going a goal behind is not the biggest and it's not the worst thing that happens in a football match, but to come back from that is a bigger show of attribute and character than going behind all the time.
100%.
And believe me, United are not going to be going behind all the time. Like, it's not going to happen all the time. 11 out of whatever games to have in all the other games, 50%, we didn't go behind and we won. Okay, but it doesn't matter. We went behind in them games and we still picked up a maximum points. So the games that we didn't go behind, we still picked up enough points to be second in the league right now, fighting for a title. There's no other manager that you put him in Ollie's shoes right now is going to be doing a better job. Listen, we've got players and we've got a system, but you got to understand, not all the players match the system. And until we get listen, unto all the players, listen, this is what I think. The Sheffield United match, I feel like intensity was low, because if intensity had been higher, would have put away the chances, would have shut them down, would have closed down the ball, wouldn't have conceded that shitty goal by whoever that scored that goal, Basham, whoever shot that and it deflected off to Reniza. If people had closed, if people had closed down the ball and we had a better intensity, we would have easily won that game. But I'm saying the Liverpool game and these games that we've been playing in the short period of time took it out of our Sheffield United. But that loss didn't put us in such a detrimental position that we should be worrying as United fans, or where we should be questioning whether Ollie's good enough to win the league when we're in touching distance of fighting for the league with Man City. So to me, I'm like I said, I don't care about the Sheffield United game no more. That's in the past. I care about the future. That's Arsenal.
Okay, just in terms of that, okay, we'll move on from that game just a second. But in terms of TJ though, just respond to this, and you can respond well. The Sheffield United game isn't an anomaly. I know the result was an anomaly because you guys have been on a good run, but the Sheffield United game isn't an anomaly. You guys, let's look at the Fulham game. I would argue Fulham were a better or maybe the par side. You guys got away with a 2-1 win. You've been escaping with a lot of the odd goal wins recently, and as I've just recently said, it's not sustainable. And so when this kind of result happens, for me, it's not a surprise. They were saying yesterday it was the biggest shock of the season. For me, it wasn't the shock of the season because I literally predicted it, because United cannot keep going one goal behind, and in the low block games they always come a little bit unstuck. What I thought would see them over the line in the Sheffield United game is their good form. Is it a worry that when you're top of the league, you have to, put your mouth down in the wood, so to speak? You have to bid and grear it. These are the games that when you're top of the league, you have to win. If you're title challengers, you have to win. And that's why it is a concern for me. Is it a concern for you, TJ?
As Skipper said, like,
why would it be a concern for you? You're not even in the you're not in the title, and it's not Arsenal. Why would it be a concern for you? Listen, for all the games that we've come back and won, you would have been happy to come back and won your game that you've lost.
Listen,
you've lost like 8 games in the league. You know what I mean? For me, you shouldn't really be analysing and dissecting our performances like that. Like, you shouldn't really care like that. You know what I mean?
Listen, Skipper. We are a football.
If Arsenal had done if Arsenal had done half of the stuff that we've been doing in terms of coming back and picking up points from losing positions, you'll be a happier football fan. Yeah, and to me, I'm a happy football fan for us coming back and picking up these points. Not going behind by one goal every game. That's not what matters. When I
analyze teams, Skipper. When I analyze teams here, I analyze them in a bubble. So I analyze them regardless of what is going on at my club. I analyze my club regardless of what's going on in other clubs. Because when I analyze them, we're a football channel. So if we're talking about United, we're talking about United in a bubble. So when I'm saying I'm concerned about it, I'm talking about just if I was a United fan, okay, I would show my concern because I put my bias aside.
I understand
when it comes to analyzing individual clubs.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying in terms of TJ. Was he worried?
I understand that, but let me ask you. All right, cool. But let me ask you a question though. Would you be happy if all the games that you were losing, you had come back and won? Wouldn't you be happy? Or would you be concerned?
Okay, I've been through it. Lost the season under Emery. When we were going on that 22 game unbeaten run, I always kept on saying that it was papering over cracks. Where were you in the league? So we were in the top 4 around that time, in that 22 game unbeaten run. But the concern for me was that it was papering over cracks. So yes, while I was happy, I was also concerned. That's what I'm saying. Is TJ concerned, and are you concerned about the form and not results?
No, I'm not concerned.
Okay,
I'm
TJ.
not concerned because I believe we can turn it around. Okay,
Skipper says not concerned. First. Are you concerned?
I'm a little bit concerned purely because it's listen, at the end of the day, football's a sport where you can win and lose games. We know that. Do you know what I mean? It's the manner of the way in which we lost, with the lack of intensity, with the lackluster performance. That's what, and then what happened, and also what concerns me is what's concerned me from when, because me saying the manager isn't good enough is not something that I've said in the past week. I've been saying it, I've been saying it for the last year that I've been saying that, right? And that's the biggest concern for me, is that there was no change to what we were doing yesterday. And the fact that, as I said, we go on poor runs. We have great runs and we think everything's great, and then we go on poor runs. That is my concern. Along coinciding with the fact that, yes, I'm happy that in the amount of games we've come back and we've won them. Of course I am. But at the same time, we shouldn't, half of those games we shouldn't be going behind in against the caliber of team we're coming up against. So in one sense, going behind and coming back, I'm happy with the character and the fact that the players are coming back and they're winning the games and they're showing the grit and determination. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's not sustainable. And we saw that yesterday. So going forward to the Arsenal game, am I concerned? I am a little bit concerned, because if we carry that performance from Sheffield United into the Arsenal game, it's going to be a difficult one. It's going to be a very difficult one. Whereas if we bounce back like we can, then I don't see any reason why we can't go to the Emirates and get a result.
Okay, cool. I think that's, that section very heated. This is very good analysis from you guys in terms of, I like to see both sides of the fence.
Liverpool 1-0.
Yeah, just to say Liverpool are taking the lead versus Tottenham.
Yes, people, we are live, but we've got the Spurs. We got the Spurs Liverpool team, Spurs Liverpool game on in the background. So we are going to move on. We are going to talk about the game at hand. That's what we're here for. Arsenal versus Manchester United. You know what I said? The 5 games. The truth. It's because you lot are unbeaten in 5 games against us. That's why. I said 5 games. The last time we beat you lot was at home. 2-1 in 2018. But the last time we won at the Emirates was that infamous 3-1. That infamous 3-1 in 2017.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna talk about this. But yeah, you gotta ask a question. Ask away.
In terms of yourself, what are you expecting from the game ahead? What are you expecting from your Arsenal team, seemingly bouncing into this game at the Emirates?
I know Skipper alluded to this, under the Ferguson days, under the later Ferguson days, we never really competed with United. We went on a horrible run. It carried on even under, I don't think we even beat Moyes that season. That's how bad it was. I think it was a draw and a loss that we had against David Moyes. And then Van Gaal came in. And then we started to have a little bit more success after Van Gaal in terms of United Arsenal games. In fact, a lot of our success began that we won. I think we beat you twice at the Emirates. You guys beat us twice at Old Trafford. We beat you guys in the FA Cup. Mourinho came in, and then we even carried on that success because we won at the Emirates. I know you guys won at the Emirates, that infamous 3-1 that you shouldn't have won. De Gea turned into freaking he turned into flipping Dalsim from Street Fighter. He was everywhere that game. But recently, especially under the Ole regime, we've had what I find amazing success. TJ said, I think it's 5 games we are unbeaten against you guys. I know you guys won the FA first game against us, FA Cup game. Ole won that 3-1 at the Emirates. But in the Premier League, we 5 games unbeaten. And you would say a lot of those games, we have shown that we were the dominant side in terms of how we played and how we won. Apart from the 1-1 at Old Trafford, where it was more even, you guys had a good first half. We had
even the 1-0 at Old Trafford. Do you remember that penalty was your only shot on target?
I know, but I think first half we were the better side. Second half we decided to drop back. But so this is what this is going to lead to. So in the way that we play, and the way Arteta likes to set up against United, isn't how he sets up against the other big 6 or how he sets up against other teams. What we do against United is that we have a halfway line block. Okay, so the halfway line is our trigger. We defend deep, but as soon as you guys cross the halfway line, we start pressing you on the halfway line. If you're taking a goal kick, though, we'll press you on the goal kick. As soon as you bypass the press, it's all hands to the pump. Everyone's back, deep lying, because we know that United struggle to break down that deep line. It's a lot of hard work, and it's not sustainable in loads of games. But in a one-off game like this, I think this is how we're going to revert to. What is interesting that I thought is that Arteta likes going 3-4-3, but recently he's been dabbling with the 4-5-1 or 4-2-3-1 formation. So I am hoping he's doing that to keep Ole guessing, because if you know you're going to play against 3-4-3, it's easier to set up against. Because, you know, overload the flanks, overload the midfield, and you can plan against it. But because we've been running the 4-5-1 recently, or 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, Ole might be second guessing himself what formation to play or what to do. So I do like that, the fact that he's been dabbling that. But when it comes down to it, I do hope we do go back to the 3-4-3 against United, because it works so well with a team like United who love to play on the counter and can't really break down the low block. So I am quietly confident, let me say. I'm quietly confident. Our recent record against United is good. Arteta's record against United is good. But I am worried about the backlash. I would have preferred it if United won the Sheffield United game, because they'll be, you know, a little bit more overconfident going into the game. So I know United are going to be up for this game now because they need to win. But also, that being said, I am confident just because of the recent history that we have against United.
No, you make some valid points. Mr. K.A., welcome, sir. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Sorry for my late appearance, but I'm here now, ready to go. Tell Mr. TJ about his Man United team and what's going to happen on the weekend. Come on, you Gunners.
This guy. Skipper.
Yeah, I had something to say about what we're saying about the recent victories, or the recent Arsenal's recent form against Man United. And to me, I would put that recent form down to Arsenal nowadays. Whenever they come up to playing against United, they don't really have much to play for in their season. Like this season. Hold on, let me finish. Like in this season, a couple games left in the Europa, then they're out. Like the mid-table struggling for Europa League place again. So when it comes against United, the old school rivalry is rekindled, and Arsenal really get up for the match like they do no other. That's the only reason why the recent form's there.
Why not?
What else?
Why not? I've got no issue with that, because as a fan, I'm not going to lie to you, I would sooner lose against Tottenham than lose against United.
Yes, damn right. I'm from Finsbury Park. I'm an Arsenal fan. No, but I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you, but I'm from Finsbury Park. I'm a Man United fan. Don't worry about that. I know, but that being Arsenal is a big thing. You know what I mean? For a Man United fan, for Manchester United, don't get it twisted. I know, but really and truly, you look like Arsenal not really on our level at the moment. So even if you lose to us, it might just reignite us to do another long run like we've done. Because last time we lost to you, look what happened. We ended up first.
It's true. No, it's true.
I like
but
that.
As I said, let's not pretend it's only one way, because what's happened, let me just, in terms of facts, in terms of why even though we're not competing at the top of the league, top of the table, why it's got so big is because Arsenal and United have become the biggest teams on social media. We have, in England, we are the biggest teams right now on social media. Forget about Liverpool, forget Man City, forget Chelsea.
Yes.
So, and before you used to go to school, you used to go to work, and that used to be the banter. But now the banter's on social media. And because we are the two biggest sides, regardless of what happens, it is a big game on that, in that context. And that's why for me, it's turned into an even bigger game, because, as much as hurting, losing hurts, I love the banner, and I miss United Arsenal banner because it's special to me. I grew up with it. I grew up all the way when Wenger came in. I grew up with that banner. I love it. So, Oh yeah, just like go on, TJ.
Skipper, in terms of the game, how are you expecting United to set up, and how are you expecting them to try and win the game?
So let's make it clear. The game's at the Emirates, right? We're away.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, really and truly, I feel like Ollie's not. Listen, I feel like Ollie's gonna. I feel like we're gonna feel them out first 15, first 20. If not, we might just attack them first 15, first 20.
Never.
But I think we're gonna start on. No, but listen, hold on, wait. I think we're gonna start on the front foot more than we've started on the front foot in our past however much games, because I feel that we're gonna get the lead, and this is how we're gonna win. If we get the lead, Arsenal will be attacking, trying to play their good flowing football. Then we just hit them on the counter. But we need to get the goal first to make them want to do that. Because you want to say we're gonna listen. You want to say we're gonna be defensive encounter. You're talking about your best formation is 3-4-3. Stop trying to sugarcoat that for 5-3-2 defensive. Yeah, please don't sugarcoat it. So what I'm saying, you are going to be trying to play just as defensive as us. But really and truly, I thought if we can get the goal first, it will open you up, draw you out, then we'll hit you and win.
There's a difference between our defensive football and your defensive football. Your defensive football is a low block, cluster. You know, I'm gonna say the F. Don't want to cuss because we're getting there. But it's just a mess of football. With our football, when we get the ball back, we try to impose our football. We try to get our passing going. You guys is quick, get the ball back, boom, over the top for Rashford, boom, over the top for Martial, boom. Every time we're looking for that ball, and that's it. It's basic stuff. We coach that in flipping at Sunday League, so it's nothing big. Listen, but at the top level, when it comes,
why have we won more games than you?
For now, the season's not over. It's not over. It's lazy football.
But you're not going to win more games than us.
We'll see. If we beat you, 7 points
behind?
£100.
I bet you're £100.
Hey, I'm not going to bet. I'm not going to promote betting on our website.
We should. You can get some sponsor. Sky Bet. You never know, man.
Yeah, I hear that. We can't seem promoting that, but if they do want to sponsor us, by all means, by all means, we're here for that. Mr. KA, thank you for joining us. Let me get your thoughts. How are you expecting the game at the Emirates to pan out between Arsenal and Manchester United?
First of all, can I say, who's this skipper guy, bro? Just rubbish on my screen, bro. What? I can't enjoy this guy. Do you know what? I've been sitting here patiently listening. And I've just been hearing utter poppycock, bro. About how we're just smooth fry and that we're the ones who get up for Man United as if they were not sort of like head to head with us and below us at some stages in recent decades. Okay.
Let's remember, last season was our first season in how long you finished above us. Yeah, just remember that. Skipper.
That's what I'm saying. Man United, they went through their
one or two seasons
as well.
Listen, Arsenal were 17th earlier this season.
I'm saying
Arsenal were 17th earlier this season.
Yeah, and where are we now? The table's going to change. Look, in 2 losses, you guys could be outside the top. In 2 losses, you guys could be outside the top 4. You know that. That's how crazy this table is. We'll see. Okay.
So, but anyway, let's get into the game. That's what you asked me, isn't it? What my thoughts?
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be a close affair because both teams, as it's been spoken of, they have worked on their defense in different styles. Ollie with the PE teacher with his counter-attacking football. Arteta.
I'm a PE teacher.
Hold tight, yo, man. The minute the PE teacher union, innit? They're going to be represented on the weekend.
Oh man!
Shout out all the PE teachers out there, man. I had a sick PE teacher back in the day, man. He was a DJ on the side, bro. His name was Physical Ed. He fully embraced the PE life, bro. But anyway,
I'm a PE teacher too, so.
What was that?
I've been a PE teacher too. Don't think the PE teachers, fam. Are union strong?
Shout out PE teachers, man. Shout out PE teachers. I remember 1. Anyway, no, that's.
Yeah, you got no tangent.
Anyway,
I
back to the game.
Yeah. So I do think it's going to be I wouldn't say it's going to be a cage affair. I think it's going to be it's not going to be free flowing in terms of like shots on target and goals being scored, but I do feel like it will be an entertaining game. I do feel like Man United will they will be surprised. I do feel. I don't think it's going to be an easy game as most of the fans feel, despite where we are and despite our results. He's not been scoring, but we're going to have Aubameyang back. That's going to be a big morale.
I don't think Oba's going to be back
because
yeah, he might need to go into quarantine, so he's very unsure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did he fly out?
Yeah, he flew up to Gabon.
Okay.
Remember, we actually got
why
it was.
His mum was ill, I think.
Why did he fly out?
His mum was ill.
Yes, that's why he's been kind of MIA and like everyone.
Okay. I wonder why Lacazette was starting the other day.
He's been scoring.
I was wondering why Lacazette was starting the other match.
Yeah, you see it on the weekend. What like
is that what you call form? Yeah. Is that what you call? Is that what you call form? Yeah.
He scored a few against you guys. Don't get it twisted. He scored a few against you guys. He's got his shooting boots ready for you.
So yeah. So
he better.
I feel like we're gonna surprise them with our attack because Saka, Smith Rowe, they're on form, especially Saka. I hopefully Tierney can play.
That's your best players. Players.
If they score on the weekend, then yeah, they're our best players. Saka's been scoring. He's been getting assists. He's like one of the young players of the season at the moment. So
what do you put young player of the season?
I wasn't gonna say D because I don't know if like the comments underneath might get onto me, so I'm trying to be diplomatic. But no, I do think we've got the players to surprise Man United, and I think we can get a result on the weekend. Just to kind of like long story short.
No, I hear that. Listen. I said you lot got every reason to be confident. You haven't lost. Unbeaten in 5. You're playing as well as you can play with the players that you've got. I mean, Saka and Smith Rowe exceeding expectation. I'm assuming Tierney's going to be back on Saturday as well.
That'll be a big plus for us.
Who's also playing well. But personally, I'd play Cedric as well.
Yeah,
instead of
Luke Shaw.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. No, we're gonna get there. We're gonna do a combined 11. I agree, TJ. I think Cedric should play over Bellerin. Definitely. It's hard because you guys are gonna probably play Rashford or Martial out wide, so Bellerin's pace is better, but Cedric on the ball is a lot better. So we'll see what Arteta goes
if Martial and Rashford stand around ball watching like they did against Sheffield, bro, they can start. They can gladly start, bro. Saka will eat them up for that, bro.
Listen. Don't join the agenda on Martial, you know.
I mentioned Rashford as well, but they're trying to forget
with them. Anyway, let me not even start because then no one will speak for like half an hour. Rashford is there to blame as well. Oh yeah, he is, but like,
allow it, man. Rashford been killing Arsenal since his teens.
I heard that, bro. But I wanted one of the key battles that I wanted to talk about before we go into predictions and scores in the combined 11 is the key battle in midfield. We saw at Old Trafford that Partey pissed all over us as Liverpool go 2-0 up in the game.
Mourinho.
Partey pissed all over us at Old Trafford, as did El Nene.
What was the score?
1-0.
What? It was 1-0, but they dominated.
So please,
the midfield.
Don't use them terminologies. Pissed on us, man.
But they did. I call a spade a spade. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna.
No,
I'm
man,
not
you
gonna
can't say pissed on us. Pissed on us is 8-2. Midfielders got 3-4.
No.
Yeah,
not in that context.
That's pissing on.
Not in that context.
Yeah, 8-2.
Listen, you can
midfielders got assists. Midfielders
you can use a dominant performance as pissed all over. You can use an absolute dominant, and they dominated that midfield. Midfield.
Yeah, listen, bro. So why didn't they win more than 1-0 then?
Because it wasn't that type of game. It was a close game.
Yeah, so they didn't dominate because if it was dominated, it wouldn't be a tight game.
We won the game because we did dominate the midfield.
Listen, no, we didn't. Listen, you lot are just saying it because you just got a party, it's fresh. You never seen nothing like it since Vieira, and you're gassing. Even this Man United fans gassing for you. Allow it, man.
Gassing. I call it how it is. I watched the game.
As long as you guys play Fred and McTominay.
Listen, I called it right. You can watch the tape. If you watch the tapes, you can see that party and then they dominated that midfield. There's no question on that. Like they did the analysis after. And they say it like that. Like I'm not gonna listen just because I'm a Man United fan. I'm a fan of football. I'm not gonna be biased because I'm a Man United fan. I'm not gonna do that.
You're saying piss like you know.
I never said they were taking the piss. I never said I was taking the piss. I said they pissed all over us because they dominated the midfield. I never said taking the piss out of us because they didn't, because they only won 1-0.
Listen. I've been to Emirates, yeah, and seen a midfield masterclass. 4-2, 4-1, 4-2 Champions League. Yeah, I've seen it. 1-0, not 1-0, not no dominant. Yeah, I was there seeing it with my own eyes. Yeah. Watching it on TV and you lot saying, a 1-0 dominant piston on
you. I never called Arsenal's performance dominant.
Skipper, I said as a coach, Skipper, you know you can have a dominant performance and only win 1-0. What are you talking about?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
What are you talking about? You can have a dominant performance, but not about the result.
Not
your team, but that's what happened in the game of Spurs.
No. As a coach, how can my midfield dominate the game and we're only winning 1-0? No way, bro. We're winning more than 1-0. After my midfield bossed the whole game. No, my midfield bossed the whhole game. Allow it, man. Too many chances have been created. Too much possession. Too much attacks. Too much recycled attacks. Allow it. They're getting it.
But remember, you guys didn't have hardly any chances. The only chance United had. The only chance that United had that game was Gunwood. I can't name Gunwood now. Greenwood's chance, and that was about it for the whole game. In terms of we dominated because we created more than United, more half chances than United, and that came from our midfield dominance. Okay, nothing came from Man United's midfield apart from that, and that was a crossfield ball from Rashford as well. The Greenwood chance to happen. You guys had it late as well when you guys hit the post, but again we were all hands at the back then. But in terms of the actual game, we created more chances. In fact, Gary Neville himself was saying that we should have been more than 1-0 to the good by now in that game, and that we were winning the midfield battle. Simples.
So in terms of the midfield battle, because it was so key at Old Trafford, Truth, how are you looking at that at the Emirates? Is it again going to be the key to whichever team wins this game?
It's Spurs, by the way. It's Liverpool, by the way, just to let everyone, let the viewers know.
It's a hard one because United have. I don't know what Ole's going to do. I have a feeling he's going to revert back to Fred and McTominay, which I will be totally comfortable with, because when you play those two, that means you're losing creativity. They're not the best passers of the ball. If we hassle them and if we hassle and hurry them, they have shown that they can give away the ball easily, especially McTominay.
But if they hustle you and have you can give the ball away easily.
No. We got our players are built differently.
No.
Our players are built differently.
We could do it to the best of them.
We learn football, fam. If you see our training sessions, we practice our players getting touches of the ball. When I went to is it Carrington United training session, all I saw is long ball counter-attacking football from Ole.
So why are you eighth?
Because it's harder to develop. It's a long game. We're playing the long game here.
Well, you not been playing that game. Even when Wenger was there, you were still playing it.
And you guys are playing that game with us now. Like, the season's not done. What's your last trophy?
I'll see you in May.
Exactly. So what's it? So depending on who you guys play, if you guys play only, I doubt you guys are only going to play Fred in holding. You're probably going to play Fred with Pogba next to him. Pogba's form has been really good.
But Tom's playing as well, don't worry.
1 second. So Pogba's form has been really good, but it's been good in a more of an attacking sense, in a free role, defensively we can still.
I have to disagree there. I disagree there.
Listen, let me finish.
Hasn't he even come off the left though? Hasn't he been on the left?
Defensively, what I'm saying, defensively, we can still get at Pogba. You have to remember. I think it was it the Fulham game? Was it the Fulham game or the Liverpool game where he did someone run off him and they scored a goal? I think it was the Fulham game.
It was the Fulham game. It wasn't the Liverpool game. Had nothing to do with the 2 goals.
Yeah.
It was Fulham. But think about it. It's Fulham. But think about it. The defender should have took over. Pogba shouldn't be running him back when the defenders are there like that. The defender should have took over. They're moving too static. And to me, we're chopping and changing. And we're chopping and changing too much centre backs. We're chopping and changing too much. Even Tubaniza looked a bit like a deer in headlights yesterday. You know what I mean? You can't play 15 games and then just play a game. You know what I mean? Why wasn't he closing down that shot by my man, whatever his name is?
It's true. But as I said, I'm not saying Pogba's weak defensively. I'm saying that the good that's come out of him has been more from an attacking sense. I still believe we could get out someone like Pogba. He's prone to lapse of concentration because it isn't his role to be a deep line midfielder. So if we got people buzzing around him, running off him, I think we can get loads of success. So in terms of the midfield battle, it's hugely important. And I think no matter what Man United play in that midfield, I'm confident of our midfield dominating just because of one man, Thomas Partey. You guys have no answer for Thomas Partey.
Xhaka as well. Xhaka would help out in that.
Don't mention Xhaka, please. Who? Come on, K. Come on, K.
No. Let K. Hold on. No.
This is why I don't like. No, this is why I don't like because people. Yeah, I'm gonna get. And this one goes to everybody, and I want all Arsenal fans on every chance to know this. Just because a guy who's prone to making mistakes doesn't make a mistake doesn't mean he's having a good game. He is a basic.
I never said that.
He's a basic of a player. He played decent against Southampton because there was space in behind.
Let K say his piece.
I don't want a guy to do a job.
Wait. Who's the basic player? Who's the basic player?
He's not a goal scorer. What do you expect him to do, Truth?
Hold on. Who's basic?
Xhaka.
No, Xhaka's a good player. Good centre midfielder. Yeah. He may not have the athleticism, but on the ball, distribution, passing, vision.
That's what I'm saying. What are you expecting from him?
There is a reason he didn't play in Old Trafford. There's a reason. What's the reason he didn't play? Because we don't want such a basic thing of a player. If we're on the ball, okay.
What is Xhaka playing? Is Xhaka going to play on Sunday?
I don't even know. I could honestly see Arteta play on Nenny.
Nah, he won't play on Nenny.
Don't be surprised if Nenny.
I'll be happy with Nenny.
Partey and Nenny will be too defensive.
Huh?
Our midfield is going to be too robust for you lot anyway. Partey is going to be your best player. Yeah, but if Freddie McTominay's on form and Poggy's on form, we'll overrun you. Trust me.
Yeah, you can't play on Nenny, and he's too slow.
Wait, what?
I know Xhaka.
And then he's not slow. And then he moves around. He's quite mobile for a big guy.
To battle that United team, I would prefer El Nene all day over a Xhaka because Xhaka is too slow. If he's getting pressed, do you know what he's going to do?
He has the strength.
What strength?
He can get about.
Look, if we play Xhaka, yeah, then we're giving up a lot of that game. We're giving a lot of the midfield battle. Give me mobility over whatever Xhaka possesses. Give me mobility over Xhaka swinging his left foot. If we're going for that, we might as well go play Odegaard in that game. We might as well just drop him straight into the fire.
Listen to this. So Xhaka, Partey, and who else would we play? Smith Rowe in the middle versus Pogba, McTominay, and Fred, bro.
It wouldn't be that midfield. That wouldn't be that midfield. It would be Fred, McTominay, and Bruno.
Yeah.
Well, Xhaka. So you're saying Xhaka's not better?
And then Pogba on the left.
What do you say?
I say Pogba on
the left.
Oh, who? Mr. KA?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Who's winning the battle between Xhaka and Fred?
Fred.
Oh, you're chatting rubbish, bro. Both of you, bro.
Okay, you're outnumbered here. You're outnumbered here because Fred wins that battle all day long.
Fred, are you mad? Gonna hustle that boy. Fred gonna hustle that boy.
Rob, listen, KA, listen. You're not taking Jack over Fred. You're being ridiculous. You're being ridiculous, bro. What do you mean? The tenacity, biting ankles, and he can pass. Don't get it twisted.
So Xhaka doesn't do all of that.
And he's
Xhaka gets yellow
mobile.
cards.
And he's mobile.
Xhaka gets
And
yellow
Fred
cards and
mobile.
swears at the
Fred
fans.
runs with the ball.
Bruv, Xhaka gets yellow cards and swears at the fans. That's what he does.
Hey, take off those Arsenal glasses.
Bro,
Okay.
I can talk about just Fred. Fred is dead, bro.
No, come on.
Fred is dead, bro.
No. Sorry, I don't agree. Look, I hate United. I'm the number one United here. We got a website, and then on the website, I'm the CEO, chairman, and everything. But yeah, I'm not gonna disrespect a player when he's playing good. Okay, Fred has limitations, but his job is to break up play and pass it on. He does that at the moment. He's been doing that exceedingly well for the last 2 years.
Xhaka does that and more.
He gets yellow cards
Man City
and
does
swears
that
at
more.
fans.
That's
And
what
Man City does that and
pitch.
more.
That's what Xhaka
That has
does.
got nothing to do with football, bro.
What do you
Man
mean?
City does that and more.
Did he give a free kick? Oh, they gave a free kick, bro. Liverpool scored, but it's been overruled due to a handball. That's going to cause some controversy. But yeah, in terms of back to Xhaka, I don't even know how we got in the Xhaka and Fred debate, to be honest.
I know, it's midfield battle. Yeah, go.
In terms of the midfield, skipper, it's going to be, we can basically say it's going to be Fred, McTominay and Bruno in that midfield. Is there enough there to A, combat the Arsenal midfield, and B, provide enough service for the forward three, whoever they may be?
Yes. Yes to both of your questions, because you got to understand, Fred and McTominay, listen, if you look, when Fred plays, we win. When Fred don't play, we lose. Definitely check the stats. Fred's needed in the midfield for his tenacity, for his energy, for his mobility with the ball and without the ball. And Fred actually is good at passing with both foot, so he provides us a nice balance in the midfield. Mm-hmm. To me, I believe McTominay's a threat from set pieces. He's probably one of the most athletic players in the whole Premier League.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So his energy is needed. So really and truly, to me, I've got no worry about Arsenal midfield. If Partey can try and... If Partey's defensive, he's not going to create too much. That's going to be if that's their best midfielder, then he's going to be doing his best work trying to win back the ball, trying to recover the ball, not when he has the ball. Anyone else they play in the midfield, I'm not too worried about. To me personally, I would like to see Paul Pogba in the middle, but I don't want to see him in the middle with the responsibility where he's getting the ball on the defenders. I want Pogba to get the pass from that pass so he can create and give it to Bruno. But really truly, I want Fred, Poggy and McTominay. They all need to play centre midfield. Then we play Bruno false 9 dropping in. Tony. We play Tony and Rash up front, or Cavani and Rash up front.
Love it.
You got to play all three of them. You got to play Fred, to McTominay and Pogba all centre midfield. You let Fred sit. You let Pogba and McTominay do the box to box, but you let McTominay do it a bit more going backwards. That way, Poggy's more free to receive the ball. Then you let Bruno play false 9 because he's good at striking the ball, holding up the ball, playing people in. Then you play Cavani or Rash or Martial, wide strikers.
Wait a second. So if you're playing Bruno false 9, did you play number 10 or false 9? And in terms, who goes up front?
I just told you, he's playing false 9. There's nobody up front. People think he's there, but he's not there. He drops in to get the ball. The people are the wide wingers, the wide strikers are cutting in off the wing. He's supplying them.
They don't play that though.
I know.
Sometimes we play that. Sometimes we play it when. No, it's not. Sometimes we play that when Rash is on one side, Martial's on one side, or Greenwood's on one side, and then Bruno plays the false 9. It's happened a couple of times this season. Trust me.
It's usually Martial that's leading it, and he just drops.
No, I don't think Martial left, Rashford right. Martial left, Rashford right.
Skipper, I actually agree with you with the false 9 thing, but I don't think we've ever done it before. Not with Bruno's played the 10, but I 100% agree with you in terms of playing Bruno false 9. Everything that you said, as much as we haven't agreed much, I actually agree with everything you just said in terms of playing Bruno the false nine, because when you look at Bruno's average position on the pitch, he's normally standing next to the striker anyway. Yeah. So we might as well let him play false nine,
right there.
play Martial and Rashford either side of him. We did it quite a bit under with Lukaku, where Lukaku was forced out wide, and we were playing that kind of false nine role. But I don't think we've done it with Bruno. But that is, if we were to do that, I think that solves a lot of problems. A and B, it would actually surprise Arteta in the way that we would set up.
I honestly, in terms of from a coaching point of view, I love the sound of that, because it sounds inventive.
But that's what we're in that position a lot when we're attacking at our best. You have to, don't you see, when we're at our best, but all three of them are not in the middle. That never happens when all three of them play centre midfield, because usually Pogba's forced out wide for his creativity.
No, it'd be interesting. The one counter to that though.
Pogba's got to be centre mid.
The one caveat to that though is that you guys, there's levels. And Ole's not on those levels. No, you can't be mentioning false nine. This is for the creme of coaching.
True. Bruno's the manager anyway, bruv. So he'll marshal that. He'll marshal that.
Ole's the manager. And to me, you don't understand. Listen. Even if you don't see that formation at the beginning when they're showing you the formation and that, when we're attacking at our best, and I'm not saying that because Pogba never gets to play in the middle with them other two as a three. Like you said, it's always Bruno, but Bruno's not in there. Bruno's playing attacking midfield. That means he's above them two. I want all three of them in centre mid. Yeah, let Freddie sit back and then let the other two post the middle. Yeah, and Pogba will score much more goals, assist more goals, and Bruno will be further up the pitch.
As a neutral, I think that sounds good.
Listen,
I think Bruno's game though.
Does it? Not really. That's he's basically doing the only thing I would say, KA.
Listen, the only thing that would just help Bruno get more shots and more goals.
Yeah, but I understand KA. The only way it stifles him is when he goes looking for the ball. That's the only thing I would say in terms of stifling this play. But I think it makes sense and it works because it gives him more shots on goal. He's normally up there anyway, so it doesn't really affect his position. And the only thing that it would do is which is where he has to be smart with it, is he has to roam. He can't be trying to play with his back to goal.
But the thing is though, that false nine, and this is very important from a coaching point of view, false nine only works if you are dominating the ball. You cannot be playing counter-attacking football and playing false nine. Because hold on. Because if you got a deep line defense, there's no point of Bruno playing a false nine, because that means he's not affecting the game. The ball has to reach him and you have to bypass the midfield. Bruno's position is normally on that centre circle, just a little bit ahead, a little bit behind the striker. That's his normal position, so he can receive the ball a little bit easier. If he is playing false nine, as TJ said, he has to roam, leave that position totally free. It doesn't work with a counter-attacking formation. So for the false nine to work, you have to be dominating the ball, which I don't think United will even come close to do against us on Saturday.
Okay, listen. If the midfield's got Pogba, Fred, and McTominay in the middle, Bruno don't need to be coming to look for it around the centre circle. He could be looking for it more dangerous positions in Arsenal's final third, left in between. Okay, yeah, he don't need to be coming back looking for it because Pogba's there giving it to him. McTominay's there running it to him. Fred's there harassing players, winning the ball back, giving it to him. Don't worry, he'll get the ball.
Fair enough. I hear that. As Liverpool go 3-1 up, and Mane goal, this one's not disallowed. We are going to get into...
You know, I know I'm talking about when it comes to tactics.
Skipper. Read the names. Read the names. I know.
He said my name a couple of times too.
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
But I'm going to get him back.
Before we...
No. But like I was saying though, like I'm not just saying, listen, do you see how I just said that and playing the free? I'm not just saying it for saying it's sake. I'm saying it because that's what makes sense. to get the best out of the team and the players.
It does. No, as I said, I like it. As I said, as a coach, I fully hear that. Like I'm fully behind it, but I just don't think.
And as a coach, I'm unbeaten this season still. Just to play
Arsene Wenger thing, yeah.
Go on, TJ.
Before we do the combined 11, we want some predictions for the game on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. Mr. K, we're going to start with you. What is your, in as short words as possible, so we can get to the combined 11? What is your prediction for Saturday's game?
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 off. Truth.
Pardon? Say that with your chest. I didn't hear you, man.
2-1 Arsenal.
Okay.
Truth.
I've already put myself out there, so I can't take steps back now. I put myself out there on the internet. 3-1 Arsenal.
Skipper.
2-0 United. 2-0 United.
With his whole chest, you know. Skip.
Me personally, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Personally speaking.
Scoreline, bro.
I think it's going to be.
If you don't know Skip, that's TJ's favorite scoreline. No matter what, he defers to 2-1-1.
I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I think that form that Arsenal's in, coinciding with United having that loss, and when United normally lose, we don't see them bounce back straight away. I can't confidently say that we're going to go to, and the record at the Emirates, I can't confidently say that we're going to go there and win. But so I think it's going to be a 1-0 draw. Can we win? Yes, we can. Do I think we will? No, I think it's going to be a draw. But as you lot said, it's my go-to.